Namaskar. In our continuing journey through Sanatana Dharma, we have explored the foundations of eternal wisdom, the Vedas, Upanishads, Itihasas, and major Puranas. And after discovering the boundless truths of Bhagavata Purana and the Vishnu Purana, and after immersing ourselves last week in the Shiva Purana, so the Purana of meditation and transcendence, this week we enter the Linga Purana, the text that unravels the very symbolism of Lord Shiva's cosmic form, the Shiva Linga. So the Linga Purana, composed by Maharishi Vyasa, contains around 11,000 verses, divided into two parts, the Purva Bhaga and Uttara Bhaga. It elaborates on the origin of the universe, the manifestation of Shivalinga, rituals of worships, the glory of Shiva's devotees, the cycles of creation and dissolution, and the path to liberation. And the Purana begins with a profound revelation. Before creation, there was nothing, no sky, no earth, no time. Only Shiva, the formless consciousness, existed as Linga, the unmanifest axis of reality. From that supreme stillness, through Shakti's movement, emerged space, time, and the five elements. So, Linga is not a stone, it is a symbol of infinite energy condensed into visible form. The Sanskrit word linga means mark or symbol. It is the sign through which the invisible becomes visible. The finite becomes a doorway to the infinite. Just as the atom contains enormous unseen power, the linga represents condensed consciousness, limitless potential within stillness. In the Linga Purana, Lord Brahma himself says that Linga is without the beginning and without end. It is the source and support of all beings. And the Purana declares that the worship of the Linga is a worship of the entire cosmos because the Linga is the axis of creation, preservation, and dissolution. And the Linga composed three parts: Brahma Bhaga, the square base, symbolizing creation and the physical world; Vishnu Bhaga, the octagonal middle portion, symbolizing preservation and stability; and Rudra Bhaga, the cylindrical top, representing transformation and spiritual awakening. Thus, the Linga unites the Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, in one sacred symbol. And the Purana explains that the vertical form of Linga represents the cosmic pillar of light, Jyotirlinga, that links heaven and earth, consciousness and matter. Modern scientists speak of the cosmic axis, an imaginary line around the galaxy's line called the axis mundi. Thousands of years earlier, our sages saw the same truth through meditation. Lingam eva param brahma, lingam sreshter, karanam lingam hi purusho deva, linge sarvam pratishtitam. The linga is the supreme Brahman. It is the cause of creation. The divine Purusha abides in the Linga, and in the Linga all existence rests. And Nityam Suddham Nirakaram Lingam Paramakaranam Parapadyeham Mahalingam Sarva Papa Pranakshanam. That is, you surrender to the great Linga, eternal, pure, and formless, the supreme cause that destroys all sins. So the Linga Purana opens with the story of how the universe arises from the formless Linga. And in the beginning, Shiva existed as a tranquil void. Then came Shakti, the movement of energy. From their union sprang Mahat Tattva, the universal intelligence. Then the five elements, and finally, all living beings. So when dissolution occurs, the universe merges back into the Linga, energy returning to stillness. Scientific analogy, if you look at this echoes the Big Bang and Big Crunch theories. The universe expanding from a singularity and ultimately collapsing back into that singularity. The sages described this cycle rhythm of creation and dissolution long before modern cosmology. Everything we see is temporary, yet consciousness, the linga, is eternal. Awareness of this truth reduces greed and fear. And the Purana describes how time itself flows in endless spirals. Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali Yuga, each within grander cycles of kalpas. Shiva remains unchanged through all these transitions. Astronomers note similar cycles, planetary revolutions, solar magnetic cycles, and even cosmic expansions and contractions. So the linga symbolizes the unchanging axis amid these movements, like the nucleus around which electrons whirl. So to hold your center amidst change. Be like the linga, steady, silent, witnessing. When Brahma and Vishnu argued over supremacy, Shiva appeared as an endless pillar of light, the Jyotirlinga, to teach humility. This story appears here again, stressing that only surrender reveals the infinite. Modern physics says energy cannot be destroyed, it transforms. The Jyotirlinga represents this indestructible continuum, conscious energy that underlies all forms. Pride blinds knowledge, only humility unveils truth. King Dhyana, who denied the gods and forbade worship, was overpowered by sages who invoked Shiva through Linga. From the ashes of Vena emerged Prithu, the righteous king. So, the scientific analogy is negativity represents disorder. When consciousness is invoked through meditation, order and harmony are restored. Just as entropy in physics increases without an organizing force, the mind decays without spiritual alignment. Where reverence ends, chaos begins. Spiritual awareness restores moral and mental order. When the demon Ravana carried a sacred linga to Lanka, the gods tricked him into placing it on the ground in Vaidyanath Dham. It became immovable and divine. And this story reminds us that the divine presence chooses its own place. Devotion cannot bind divinity for selfish ends. So, energy follows equilibrium. It settles where conditions balance perfectly. Similarly, divinity manifests where there is balance between humility and sincerity. Faith must be selfless. Divinity dwells where purity of intent resides. So, the Linga Purana anticipates many scientific insights. The Linga symbolizes the transition from unmanifest to manifest, similar to the wave particle duality of quantum physics. Energy concentration, just like as matter is condensed energy, the Linga represents the densification of cosmic consciousness. And the Linga's vertical form parallels Earth's axis, around which time and life revolve, mirroring angular momentum in physics. And worship of Linga through Om Namah Shivaya vibrates at a low frequency that calms the nervous system. Modern studies confirm chanting stabilizes the heart rate and synchronizes brain waves. So, The Linga is both cosmic science and inner psychology, the union of energy and stillness. In today's restless world of speed and noise, the Linga teaches five timeless principles. The universe wills, yet the axis is unmoving. Be like that axis in your life. The Linga reveals that spiritual truth and scientific discovery are two eyes of the same truth. And when thought and breath are aligned, creativity blooms. And the Linga is made of earth, stone, and water, symbols of ecology and sustainability. True worship is transformation, not ritual alone. When modern humanity learns from the Linga, conflict dissolves into harmony and ambition refines into purpose. Om Namah Shivaya Lingaya Brahma Murtaya Sambhave Nityam Pujam Kromyenam Sarva Siddhi Pratayakam. So, salutations to the Linga form of Lord Shiva, embodiment of Brahman. So, let us worship him daily, the giver of all success and perfection. Chanting this mantra with a deep breathing creates coherence in the heart and calmness in the mind. So, a scientifically observed state called heart rhythms synchrony. And the Linga Purana's wisdom finds resonance even in fields like cosmology, psychology, and ecology. So the Big Bang reflects the emergence from the formless Linga. The cosmic background radiation echoes the eternal womb. And the meditation on the Linga quiets the amygdala, reducing the fear responses and enhancing emotional stability. And the stone linga resting in water symbolizes environmental balance, earth and water in harmony. Ancient temple design thus followed sustainable science. So the Linga Purana teaches that the worship is not about form, but about awakening the formless within. The devotee's journey mirrors the cosmic journey, from form to formlessness, from multiplicity to unity. So, when we meditate upon the Linga, we are aligning ourselves with the axis of existence, the same axis around which galaxies spin and life evolves. So, in simple words, when you bow to the Linga, you are bowing to the law of the universe itself. So, let us carry this message forward. In moments of chaos, remember the still Linga within. In moments of anger, let the third eye of awareness open. In every act of duty, see it as worship. For a deeper into these divine truths from our scriptures, watch my weekly videos on the channel, YouTube channel, Yoga, Dhyana, and Dharma, and share these insights, wisdom with seekers everywhere. Together, let us build a society where science bows to the spirituality and spirituality embraces science, just as the Linga unites the visible and the invisible. Be like the Linga, silent, centered, and luminous. When the world moves in chaos, remain the axis of peace. Have a wonderful week ahead. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.